You can use the mic.
The patio will be discussed tonight. Outside cooking and patio will be done tonight. The rest of these stuff, like Gateway, the Elks, Tavern, 316 Lawn Street, Broadway, will all be done next Wednesday.
Let me tell in Spanish.
Oh, go ahead.
Para los que no hablan inglés, la reunión se va a mover para el próximo miércoles por una situación que se ha presentado con nuestra comisionada que se encuentra en el hospital a punto de dar a luz. No hay forma de que podamos hacerlo ni siquiera por teléfono con ella. Y con relación a los patios, vamos a trabajar la parte de los patios el día de hoy para que se le explique todo con relación a las regulaciones. ¿Ok? Entonces, tan pronto él autorice para que Matías pase al frente y dé las explicaciones. Tenemos aquí las regulaciones de la ciudad para los dueños de negocios de alcohol y también para los que van a tener los patios en función. Los tenemos aquí para entregárselos también. You can go ahead.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right, so
Ok, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Santiago Matías, muchos de ustedes me conocen. Estoy trabajando en el Departamento de Planificación y Desarrollo de la ciudad de Lawrence. Hi, my name is Santiago Matias, and most of you know me here in the city. I've been working like an OPD director, acting OPD director for City of Lawrence. We have a real problems because we want to rebranding the city. Like this, right?
John, I
Good
can't hear anything.
Oh, you can hear, I'm gonna have to mute you. Or if you can mute yourself. Okay. Good evening and welcome to the Housing and Economic Development Committee. Today is Wednesday, May 27th. It is approximately 6:15 p.m. Note this meeting is being held and conducted as a hybrid meeting. You may remotely access the meeting through the digital platforms such as our Facebook Lawrence City Council page and our YouTube Lawrence City Council page. Pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2022, this meeting of Housing Committee is being conducted both in person and via remote participation. A reminder that persons who would like to listen to and/or view this meeting while in progress, Council President, please mute yourself. While in progress, may either attend in person at 200 Common Street at our City Council chambers, or they may have access to view these meetings with the following accesses that I had previously mentioned, which is our Facebook and YouTube Lawrence City Council pages. Before we commence today's meeting, I would like to please stand for our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, voting members present today, to my left is our counselor for District A and our vice chair, Franklin Miguel, and our city council president and counselor at large via remote, Giovanni Rodriguez. I'm looking for a recommendation for approval of minutes, January 12th, 2026, February 9th of 2026, January 28th, 2026, and March 11th of 2026.
Motion to approve the minutes?
Second.
Motion has been made properly second. Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Sure. Council Vice Chair Franklin Miguel.
Yes.
Council President Giovanni Rodriguez.
Yes.
And then Madam Chair's Vivian.
I vote in the
Marvel.
affirmative. Motion carries. I would like to, it would be out of order of today's agenda, taking into consideration those that are present here at today's meeting. It is item, and I'm looking for a motion to untable this item. It is 8426, and I want to make sure that this is clear, Director McCarthy, because on your email, you have it as 8726. So I just wanted to make sure that it is item 8426. I think 8726 was a typo.
I don't have the agenda in front of me.
I got it here.
It's 8426.
8426. So can I get a motion to untable this item?
Motion to untable the item 8426.
Motion has been made. Can I get a second? I can second.
Second.
Okay, properly second. Madam Clerk, could you please call a roll?
Okay. President Giovanni Rodriguez,
Yes.
Vice Chair Franklin Miguel,
Yes.
and then Chair Vivian Marmol.
Yes.
Motion carries.
carries. Director McCarthy, if you could please proceed with the presentation on this item. Just to be clear, Madam Clerk, the item is 8426, acceptance of new layout plan of public ways for parts of Short Street, Maple Street, Courier Street, and Irving Avenue.
So there should be 5 packets, 5 documents in your packets. I've got copies.
Oh, Director, if you could please turn on your mic.
Oh, thank you, Chairperson. I'm old at the, there should be 5 documents in your package. 3 of them were late additions. The last 3 documents that come in, you can drop off copies.
Oh, I would love a physical copy. Thank you.
These are letters and decisions from other boards. So one of these documents, I put this, actually, let me start that. I put this item on the agenda back in March, but one requirement is that any time that you're accepting or modifying the streets, public ways, it has to be reviewed by the Lawrence Planning Board. Went in front of the Planning Board in May 6 of 2026, and they reviewed the plans, they had speakers, and they had a public hearing, and they made a favorable recommendation to support having these plans approved. Then you'll also see there is a letter on the back side of this, is a letter from the city engineer that he's reviewed the plans, and he made some comments, and that he is in support of that. And the last letter, which is pretty short and sweet, I guess, is from our city attorney that says, "I have reviewed all the documents and plans, and I find them in good legal order." So I'll, trying to get the, oh, there we go.
Should I turn, let me.
Yeah. So the streets we're talking about are Short Street, which is the street where the bridge that's going to be replaced is located on. Maple Street, which intersects with Short Street near the Spigot River. Irving Avenue, which is the road that's on the other side of the bridge. And let me see if I can. And Courier Avenue. These are the 3 streets that are going to be impacted when our land surveyor that went out there to survey them, and they were looking for the original plans that should be recorded at the Registry of Deeds. They couldn't find any plans identifying these public ways. So that's one of the requirements for spending, is that all the plans be done. So we had an accurate survey done, and the plans were then corrected. So these are the plans that we intend to record at the Registry of Deeds after they are accepted and approved by the City Council. Again, I have Mr. John Shikes here with me today. Mr. Shikes is an engineer from TEC Engineering. He is the design engineer for this project and has been working with the city for the last year and a half as we develop these plans and the projects. So we're also working with the state to get these approved. The city has some preliminary requirements that we need to meet, and getting these plans is one of the accepted ones.
Okay. Well, considering you've made your way here, seeing that you're physically here, I wouldn't want, for it to be a waste of time. So I would love to hear as to your plans, what has been the work study that's been done for this project, any challenge, like I know specifically on my end, I can't speak for other counselors, but considering how we do have a pending project with another bridge, it's laid the foundation for me to ask certain questions now with this project.
Yes.
So I'm curious to know any challenges that you guys already have taken into consideration. Oh, well, are you done with the
So-
presentation? Hold on, Mejia. Are
so-
you done with the presentation?
Those
okay.
are all the slides I have.
Okay. So I'm curious to know if there are any pending, if there are any businesses in the surrounding area that might be impacted because of this project, and have you guys done your due diligence to communicate with them, closure dates, how long this project will?
Well, I think, like I said, Engineer Shikes can probably comment more about the scheduling of the project. It's not going to be happening immediately, so going out and talking to the businesses around there probably wouldn't be fruitful, because it's probably going to be more than a year till the construction starts. So
Okay.
I don't want to worry people
Okay,
prior
okay,
to
okay.
that. The property, it is a heavily residential area. The businesses that are located are on Lawrence Street. There's a Dunkin' Donuts at the corner of Maple Street. There's a funeral home on that block. And on the other side is the Leahy School. So that's one of the ones that we were worried about being impacted more than anything.
Oh, no, I'm
the
familiar.
school.
I believe is that the back roads of Big and Beefy, like Irvin or Brothers Pizza?
Brothers Pizza, yes.
Yeah, that,
Yep.
I'm familiar with the traffic currently as how it is now on a day-to-day basis, so I'm hoping that,
People do use it as a cut-through, really shouldn't be used as a cut-through. It's a small, very thin street. It's heavily trafficked. I'll admit I use it a lot because I'm aware it's there, but same thing with Irving. Irving, a lot of people cut through.
Okay.
But we do want people to stick to it. I don't believe, by the time this project starts, Amesbury Street should be completed. So we're doing the Amesbury Street, Lawrence Street, Rotary Park, all that project that's under construction right now will be done before we even start this project.
are these projects done in phases? So considering that it's two bridges, is the projection that the project will start with working on one bridge to then segue into the second? I'm just curious.
It depends on the schedule of the contractors. It depends on the financing from the state. It depends upon a lot of criteria. This last summer, we actually were working on 4 major projects at once, which is kind of unheard of. We were doing Merrimack Street intersection, Marston Street intersection with East Haverhill, and the rail trail, and Amesbury Street. So it does create a lot of issues that the city has to be ahead of to make sure that the detours are correct, that the businesses aren't impacted, and that, but these are all, that's part of my job. That's what we do.
Okay. I want to make sure I'm giving other counselors an opportunity to ask questions. So discussions, counselors, Counselor Miguel?
Through you, Chair. Taking into consideration that this is gonna take, this project will take some time before construction. Do we have any assessment of the bridge right now in terms of safety, that we don't have to proceed with any emergency repair just in case, like between
You want to speak on that?
now and 2 years, 1 year?
I speak on that. I'm not the structural, there's a structural engineer who's a manager on the project. I'm sort of the highway lead,
You can,
even though it is a.
to the mic, sorry.
So, sorry to a little defer on that. I wish I could answer that question specifically with like how it's being rated and what it's rated for currently. I do know that it's in, without using specific term, very bad shape, and that's why it was earmarked for a complete replacement. Not just like a superstructure, not just like a superstructure replacement where they'd like save the beams but replace the deck. The whole thing's going to be replaced, and that it has to do with the condition that it's in. The easiest thing I can say is that the state's been involved. We've been involved. So if it were dangerous to ride on right now, it would be closed. I wish I could give you like an easier answer than that, and that if that they know that it's not starting to. I can ask more specifically to get follow up on that, but I know if it wasn't safe to at all drive on at the moment, I think it's just one of those like the life of the bridge, and it's in very rough shape as you might know going over it. But I do believe it's obviously still safe to travel on at low speeds, because it's a very low-speed road now, until the project's done or they close it. I wish I could be more specific. I can get more specific numbers
I can
on
comment a
things.
little bit on it right now. Like, as Mr. Scheich said, if it was dangerous structurally, they wouldn't let us drive on it. The major problem with it right now are the sidewalks are in such deteriorated shape. They've got barriers up, New Jersey barriers, to keep people walking on the sidewalks, which means the kids have to walk in the street to cross that bridge. You'll see that in several of the bridges in the city. The bridges aren't shut down from car traffic, but the sidewalks are impassable. The Union Street Bridge, the one on not Daisy, on the Casey Bridge, on the Central Bridge. There's a lot of these bridges that really, it's the concrete on the sidewalks, the pole arms on the sides that have all deteriorated to the point where it's unsafe for pedestrians to be on them. So that's a major flaw with this one right now, as far as actual safety. But cars still drive by it.
Okay.
Any other questions?
In terms, once this process is completed, like what will be the next step in order for us as a city to, procure the repairs?
Yep. Part of the process is going to require us, because the bridge construction is right next to the Isabel Melendez Park, and we'll be closing down a portion of the park where the construction area is. The state, the federal government is going to require us to acquire some, what they call replacement land, and we're in the process of doing that right now. So that process takes 6 to 9 months to sometimes a year, because we have to deal directly with Parks and National Park Service in Washington and the state approval. Then that has to go up to the legislature, and we have to get what's called a Article 97 permit from the state. So that takes a period of time. We just did one for the O'Neill Park for a part of the construction. So we were anticipating construction starting like in the fall, but it may be of 97, not this fall, next year. So it's some ways back.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Fall of 97? 27. Fall of 27. I keep saying 97.
Oh, it's okay.
I wish it was 97, but.
Okay. Discussions, Councilor Rodriguez, did you have any questions, concerns? No? Okay. Okay. Trying to make sure I'm giving him ample amount of time to unmute. I was like, Council President, do you have your binder? You don't need your binder? Oh, I guess not. Do you have any questions? The one thing I do want to mention before moving this item forward is, are you just looking to have this accepted as a new layout? Because again, my concern is sending this up to full council when there's still a lot of variables that haven't been answered yet. And I get it that you can't answer them.
Right.
But it's hard for me to kind of make sense to send this up and we still don't have basic questions that have been answered.
There might be variables in scheduling and variables in the process, but there's no variables in these plans.
Okay.
These plans are the way the streets are laid out.
And by no means, I'm not objecting to the project. I
Yes.
understand the
So-
gravity.
Yeah, so we've had an engineer work on it, we've had a land surveyor go out and do the meets and bounds and the measurements, and we've had them all measured out. You should have the street measurements there. So these are only portions of streets. We're
So
not
how
doing the
will
whole
we
streets.
know, would you come before us to notify us as to when the scope of work would commence, how long it would be projected to,
Yes, there are other items I'll be coming to see you for.
okay,
Because as we approach construction, we'll probably be getting a number of private easements from some of the landowners, and that'll require your authorization.
okay. I believe, Council President, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So let me see if I'm clear with the item. So you're looking to acquire a Title 96?
Excuse me?
You're looking to acquire an approval for Title 96?
We're looking to acquire a acceptance of the submitted plans.
Yes.
Yes.
And then eventually you're gonna have to go through the state to get the,
They are going to be recorded at the Registry of Deeds.
okay. So, and what is the square footage that we're talking about?
Frankly, every street in the city that's a public way should have a plan recorded at the Registry of Deeds outlining the meets and bounds of that property to be part of the state's highway funding system. That's a requirement. As we go through the projects, time to time, not for every project, but from time to time, we'll find our land surveyor will say, hey, the streets are no longer matching historical or the correct, or we can't find any plans recorded because the streets might be so old. This case, I couldn't tell you why these weren't recorded, but this property was part of the Lawrence redevelopment project back in the 1970s and 80s, and all the houses were torn down, and these streets were all regraded and relaid out. So that might be the reason. John?
Yeah.
Just say on that real quick, yeah, the whole point of this is to just accept these layout plans so that those plans can then be recorded in the Registry of Deeds. It's not only Lawrence that this happens, it's happened to other cities, and it's one of the state's requirements that if they're gonna fund this and approve the right-of-way, which means there are a few easements that you need to get to for the state to fund the bridge project, that all the layouts within the limits of the project have to be accepted at the Registry of Deeds. So it's their state requirement. So the same thing happened for the Amesbury Street project right now that's going on with the Rotary. There was one or two of the side streets weren't recorded. Most of the roads were already in the Registry of Deeds, but there was one like Haverhill Street, part of Haverhill Street wasn't recorded, and that got recorded, and that got approved, same process. This was like 4 years ago or something like that. And that got, we did the same type of thing. We did layout plans because they weren't recorded just to get that portion of the street that's within the project on file at the Registry of Deeds as an approved layout. So that's a requirement of the state. So that's what all these plans are doing. All they're doing is like, here's the layout for those portions of the roads that are within the project, and they have to be recorded at the registry before Mass DOT will move forward and approve all the right-of-way that is associated with the project.
Council President, I believe you still have the floor.
Yes. So you got 3 pieces of parcels that are gonna be affected by the construction, and then essentially, you have the layout very quick? Can you put the layout back again?
Okay, that's panel 1.
Just keep that one.
Try it.
Are you able to control it, or is it back there that they have to move it for you? Oh,
But you're looking at two of the streets right here. You're looking at a portion of Irving and a portion of
Currier.
Carrier. And the bridge is right. Yeah, you're looking at a portion of Irving and a portion of Currier right there. And
2016,
that's
seven-
the
7
only
o'clock,
the
and
portion
today,
that's within these
is the
limits of the
subcommittee
project.
meeting for the
And the
house.
other slide showed the portions of Short Street and the
We'll
portions
start
of
with the
Maple.
Pledge of Allegiance.
So there's 4 streets that are, just a small portion of them we're looking to get recorded at the registry.
So essentially, the organization that is funding these, they require these layout to be on the register of deed
Planning department?
and recorded.
Going to hear-
Yes.
And then, even though this is part of a layout from the street.
It's from the layout, but these portions of the layout are not currently at the Registry of Deeds. They're not filed at the registry right now.
So that is like it never exists.
So there's no record of them in the state registry.
Okay.
Even though that Lawrence might have certain records of the roads, they haven't been recorded at the Registry of Deeds for these particular roads. And again, to tell you exactly why and the history of that, it's hard to say. Some roads are recorded, some roads aren't, and we found this in other municipalities as well. It's not only Lawrence, it's sometimes that like, oh, this main road is recorded, but the side street's not recorded, but the work involves some of the side street, and everything within the limits of work has to be recorded for them to fund it.
This is something new that they have?
No, but it's just it's just a state requirement for right-of-way, state right-of-way requirement. In order to issue a right-of-way certificate, they can't issue that.
Because I mean, I remember that before we have many different projects that we accept the temporary easement and the permanent easement for the construction. And those need to be recorded and need to be accepted. But I mean, the layout itself of the road, I kind of like start seeing it more often than before, but not as, you know.
Depends on the funding source, you know what I mean, and that requirement, I guess this would be the type of project, maybe.
Yeah, there will be, like I said, I'll be coming back to do the easements and the takings. There will be some takings. We're going to be widening the Short Street Bridge. So we're going to be taking about 2,000 square feet of land from Isabel Melendez Park. That taking will have to be recorded at the Registry of Deeds. We're going to have to purchase land on the other side that's owned privately to make up for that loss of land in the federal government. That's why I was discussing the federal requirements. There's also a couple of homes that will be impacted. They'll be giving us temporary easements so we can stand on their land while we put down new sidewalks. We do some of the landscaping, we do some of the street work, and we require both sides of the work to be accessible for the contractors to stand on.
Okay.
And we'll pay those people a value they'll get an award for the use of their land.
All right, I mean, I don't see that this is a problem. It's just the recording, the plan's recording, and that's it.
When this goes up to city council and gets accepted and I get the vote, I will then, the land surveyor, Hancock, will provide me with the Mylar, the plastic one. We'll sign off on that, put the document numbers on it for the vote, and then we'll record that with the registry of deeds, so they know that that's been approved by the city council. It was.
Okay. I don't see that. I don't see this as a major issue. I mean, it's not transfer of property or anything like that we do, and it's just a plan recording.
It's our property. It just needs to be, like I said, registered.
This is the second time we do this at the city council?
We did a portion of it for Amesbury Street. We've done it for a couple other smaller projects. A lot of projects we don't have to do it for. It depends on the situation.
All right, no problem.
So if there's no further discussions, I'm looking for a recommendation on this item. Oh, wait, sorry, let me repeat that. My mic was off. If there are no further discussions, I'm looking for a recommendation on this item.
Motion to send to full council with favorable recommendation.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye, and the ayes have it.
Okay.
So I'll see you at the full council meeting on Tuesday. I would love to see you there as well, as there will be other councilors. Hopefully it'll be a full house. And just be ready that you know,
Thank you very much.
potential questions may
Thank you.
arise.
Yes, I will.
All right.
Appreciate
Thank you,
that.
guys.
Thank you.
Okay. Councilors, so I did receive communication regarding item 19126. Senator Pavel Payano and his office are requesting additional time in order to be prepared to speak on behalf of this item. So I'm looking for a recommendation to table.
Motion to table 19126.
Okay, motion has been made, properly second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the ayes have it. We also received communication regarding item 19226. Mr. Halloran from CSU is not able to make it to today's meeting, so it was mentioned that we will postpone and table this item. We will send additional correspondence to the organization to ensure that they receive the proper date and time of our next meeting. So I'm looking for a motion to table.
I'll make a motion to send correspondence and subsequently table the item. Second respondent to the organization that purchased the property on 141, 143 Hancock Street, and motion as well as motion to table.
The correspondence would have to be sent the day of our city council meeting when we're scheduling our subcommittee meetings, and that's when we'll know what date our next housing committee meeting.
Correct.
Okay. So motion has been made. Can I get a second? Probably second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and the ayes have it. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
Probably all those in favor say aye. Aye, and the ayes have it.
Good evening and welcome to the Personnel Committee meeting. Today is Wednesday, May 27th, 2026. It is now 6:53 p.m. Committee members present. To my right, I have the Vice Chair of the committee, Council Vice President Anna Levy. To my left, I have Councilor Franklin Miguel and Councilor Rosalie Gonzalez. Pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2022, this meeting of the Personnel Committee is being conducted both in person and via remote participation. A reminder that persons who would like to listen or view this meeting while in progress may either attend here in the City Council chamber or view through our YouTube channel. At this point, can you please join me in the pledge? I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States
of America and to the republic
for which
which
it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Councilors, we do not have any minutes to approve, so we're going straight into new business. The first item and only item under new business, we have item 231-26, appointment of Robert J. Blackwell to the Lawrence Redevelopment Authority that was put on the agenda by the Senior Advisor to Mayor DePena, Octavian Spanner. Before we begin with this, councilors, I will say something from the beginning. The City Council is currently in a lawsuit with the LRA, and we're still pending a decision from the judge. I personally do not feel comfortable taking any matters pertaining to the LRA until we get that judgment from the decision from the judge. I know that this is not related to the what we're in court for, but at this time, that's my personal opinion as an individual counselor. So if the committee decides to proceed, I will be voting against this. But I recommend what the committee should do is table until we hear from the judge on the current situation that we have. All right.
May I speak?
Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, councilors, Madam Chair, Committee Chair Stephanie Infante. I had a request because there's another item that is tabled. I would request to untable item 205.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Dash 26?
We're doing new business right now. So
Okay,
that's
good.
not-
No, I just wanted to make sure that
Yep,
that's
I'm
the
aware.
case. And in terms of the comment, Madam Chair, I believe it's irrelevant. The decision of the court is not as if the LRA is against the city or the city is against the LRA. We have a impasse in terms of how both bodies are interpreting the law, and we're looking for a declaratory judgment. This is not something that, because we can't, one entity, one body needs to depend on the other for us to move the city forward. So I just wanted to clarify that this is not anything to do with the, it's personal, or one way or the other, it's going to impact the, your decision is going to impact any further dealings with the LRA. What it will do is that we have a board member, the term has expired, the council president, and also the body, the city council as a whole, requested information concerning the time limit, the terms of each one of the serving board members. And now that there's a vacancy, we are presenting the applicant, which is Mr. Robert Blackwell, before you. So I kindly request for you to consider this item, because we need a board member, just in case if on votes, it is not an uneven number right now.
It's not an uneven number?
No, so we need to replace the.
So I do understand I understand this is irrelevant. However, we've had, and I don't know who the attorney for the LRA is currently, but we've had the attorney be present in every single city council committee meetings, regardless if it's related or not. And to me, I don't know, again, we're not waiting for the judge, but you never know what can happen in a legal process. And I'm only speaking for myself. That's how that is my position right now in terms of anything related to the LRA, to be on the safe side until we get a final judgment on that particular matter pertaining to the LRA. And I'm going to open up the floor to the rest of the members. Council Vice President Levy.
I have a question. So this is a person, this is a new person that we are appointing to the LRA?
Correct.
Okay. So what I would like to is to send a table, I would like to table and send it to the city attorney. So to give it at least, information on if that is okay that we can proceed or no on this item.
It's an official memo, an official
An
memo
official
from the city
memo.
attorney.
Exactly. So that we don't have any interfere or that whatever decision that we take in here won't be any problem later or with that, whatever that is going to happen with the case that we're having right now. So I'm going to do it as a formal motion to table.
There's a motion to table plus a request of correspondence from the city attorney, just so we can have it on the record and make sure everything is.
Now, before you
There is-
vote
That is
or anything.
clear for
can I-
us
There is a
Can I
mo,
speak?
there is a motion on the table.
Discussion?
There's no
Second.
discussion on table matters. There's a seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. The ayes have it. My apologies, there's no discussion on the table motion.
No, that's okay. I wish we had the information before. We would have spoken to the attorney today
Yes.
and got.
Well, I can tell you, I think there's an impression that sometimes, or that elected officials speak before. I spoke myself as one city councilor. I was not aware that other councilors may have had the same sentiment. And now I learned that they do. So if there was prior knowledge, that would have been definitely,
Yeah.
I would have reached out. Yeah.
Okay, we'll proceed.
Thank you. Thank you, Senior Advisor.
I'm staying for the other item if you're gonna
Oh,
bring it
yeah,
up.
yes. Councilors, may I have a motion to untable item 205-26, appointment of Carmen Garcia King to the Lawrence Municipal Airport Commission. It was put on the agenda by City Attorney Hooten on behalf of Mayor Brian A. DePena, who we have now today, as you heard, the Senior Advisor, Advisor Spanner.
Yes, I want to just, through
I think
you.
you guys have, I'm sorry, you guys have this as a separate
package,
document.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair, I would just like to give a very brief presentation. We have Carmen Garcia, that is well-known within the community. She has a master in business administration. She has been a longstanding community member involved in the community in in a variety of capacities. And we are presenting, the mayor would like to present her candidacy for as a member of the Airport Commission. I believe her background is closely related to marketing and advertisement, but also she has written worked with the media, and also has presented several articles, and she's currently working in the office of the mayor as the public relation person for the city. And I would like to invite her to do her own introduction and for further questioning.
Thank you. Can we have Ms. Garcia King on the podium, and if you could name and address for the record, please.
Motion to table. No, no decimos.
Oh, so, okay. I did ask for a motion. Nobody voted, okay. All right, so I did ask for the motion. Did anyone? Okay, so can I have a motion to
Second.
untable? Thank you. Probably second. Is there a second?
Yes, I second.
A motion's been made by the Vice President, seconded by Councilor Miguel. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. You may proceed. Thank you.
All right. May I proceed?
Yes, you may
Yes.
proceed. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm honored to be considered for the Airport Commission. I have already visited the airport. I've met with the airport manager last month. I listened in on a recent commission meeting, which gave me a helpful introduction of its operations, and I'm looking forward to joining the team and being able to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. As part of, hold on, as my colleagues know and those who have watched my committee meetings and also myself and the full council, when I receive emails, I do read them into the record as I've done prior. So I did receive 2 emails pertaining to this matter, which now I will read into the record, and then I will open it up for discussion. The first email was sent to the full council on Monday, May 4th, 2026. It is from the chairwoman of the Lawrence Municipal Airport, Sharon Burchell, and it reads the following. Dear councilors, please see the attached letter from Town Manager Melissa Rodriguez regarding the reappointment of Doug Howe as Airport Commissioner representing the town of North Andover. Mr. Howe is currently up for reappointment and is proposed to be replaced by Carmen King, who resides in Haverhill and is employed by the mayor's office. The commission already includes a pilot who resides in Haverhill, and maintaining balanced representation across communities is important to the board's integrity. With major construction at the airport scheduled to begin next month, experienced commissioners must remain actively involved to ensure continuity, oversight, and successful project execution. Thank you for your time and consideration of this matter. Sincerely, Sharon Burchell, Chairwoman. And the following email that she was referring to from the town manager of North Andover reads the following. Hello, Mayor DePena. I hope you are doing well. It is my understanding that the Airport Commission currently has 1 member, Doug Howe from North Andover, whose appointment is due to expire. I respectfully request that you consider maintaining the North Andover representative on the board. The airport is an important community partner, and having a representative helps ensure our partnership and collaboration continues. The airport works with many of our departments, including public safety and community development. I appreciate your consideration of this request. Best, Melissa. The second email that I received was on Thursday, May 14, 2026. This is from Bill Collins, and it states the following. This statement invokes the protection of Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 149, Section 185. Madam Chair, please indulge me for a moment to offer words of praise and support for Commissioner Douglas Howe. I also attach a synopsis of his experience. Doug has been an exemplary member of the Lawrence Airport Commission and has achieved perfect attendance since his initial appointment a few years ago and has applied for reappointment. He has volunteered for every subcommittee assignment and most recently authored our first Airport Rules and Regulations Manual. As our only North Andover resident, Doug has been instrumental in smoothing the, quote, smoothing the way, unquote, with town government and boards we routinely deal with. His advocacy has been immeasurable. In addition, as a member of the airport management team, he resides closest to the airport and has been first to respond to any incident. It is understood that the mayor is the appointing authority to this position. I respect that process. I would be remiss, however, if I did not express my disappointment and dismay that Commissioner Howe's reappointment, as demonstrated by his exceptional performance and diligence, as well as his phenomenal resume, is not forthcoming. Respectfully, Bill Collins, Commissioner. And as I stated before, this is just I've done it every other time, so this is just a process that I follow to ensure that every voice is heard. Now, thank you for your introduction. Now that the introductory part of this is all set, I am going to open it up for committee members if they have any questions or comments for Ms. King and pertaining to her application for wanting to join the Airport Commission. Councilors? Council Vice President.
Yes.
Your mic is off.
Thank you, Council President. Council Chair. For how long is this position?
To my understanding, it's a 2-year term.
It's a 2-year term.
Yes.
This is a paid position?
To my understanding as well, yes, they do receive a stipend.
Okay. So I would like to ask to Mr. Octavien.
Yes, ma'am?
Okay, so Carmen is being appointed to this position, but she's been working also for the city of Lawrence.
Yes, there is no, there are certain rules that applies to when you have a city employee being appointed to a committee. Meaning, giving as an example, as long as there's no conflict of interest. Meaning that, for instance, I'll take as an example, if you have someone that's working at the Office of Planning and Development, cannot be part of the zoning board or a planning board because it's a direct conflict with the position that they have. We don't see any conflict having Carmen being part, even though she's working with the city of Lawrence and living in the city of Haverhill, it doesn't impose any particular conflict of interest. The conflict of interest that may arise is that if she receives the stipend. There is direct conflict of interest because you cannot double dip. So meaning you can be in one position and then receiving payment for one and having another payment. Otherwise, I would have been receiving paying from the LRA as well. So that's the particular conflict that exists. In addition, to my knowledge and what I have previously discussed with the OIG's office in correspondences, I believe the chairperson of the committee, Councilor Infante, upon her request, we have also been dealing with the OIG's office. To my knowledge, the members of the board are not special municipal employees. I may be mistaken, but that's something that the city council never have basically previously decided on. What I do see as a conflict, based on the information that we have received, and during the conversation that we had with one of the applicants that was providing logistics and transportation services, if you have a pilot that is using that airport, there might be a conflict, a potential conflict. But that individual needs to request that information. But in terms of Ms. Garcia, we don't see that as a particular conflict.
So there is nothing. So I know you, Carmen. I know your works. I know you for so many years. It's nothing again. So, but once again, I feel like I did something that I approved something, and that was practically not a conflict. But at the end, we received a letter from the city attorney that was a conflict of interest. Okay. So when I try to revoke my vote again because I don't feel okay, when I did the vote, they told me no. And right now we've been having some really, some conflict on this. At this time, what I would like, and that is something that maybe we should ask again, is to the city attorney to send off, a letter or a memo telling what they think about this position and to make sure that we are doing the right decision regarding getting you on the board of this commission. That is my say. So I don't know if the other council thinking on the same way, but I don't want to say yes, I don't want to say no, okay, without having something, or like a memo from the city attorney and say, okay, we can go ahead and we will not have the same problem like we are having at this time.
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair, may I say, the only ask that I would have on behalf of the administration is to have consistency. So if this is the process that you want to follow, which I agree, because I've seen that before in other municipalities. Here's the only city that I've worked with that whenever you send a package, you don't come with a recommendation or a legal opinion concerning an item. So if that's the standard that you would like to do, we'll be happy to, whenever we need to submit an application, send it to the attorney so we can have that ready, and so there cannot be further delay with any other boards and commissions that we have.
Madam Chair, to you.
And, Vice President. Go ahead, Ms. King.
And Vice Chair Levy, absolutely understand your concern. I actually took the liberty of going to an extra step and reached out to state attorneys to discuss, and I have the form here, the disclosure by municipal employees of financial interest in municipal contracts. My current role, my responsibilities, there is no immediate of whatsoever conflict by being on the commission. The only thing that actually was questioned was the financial piece, and even that, there will be, if they allowed it, will be a waiver on that, which at this time, what I wanted to share was that I understand the importance of maintaining clear boundaries. Some of you do know how I am and how I work, and therefore I would recuse myself if at any moment there is a matter that would be a conflict of interest. But in the light of my current position with my current responsibilities, there should be none. So I understand, Chair, when you read the emails regarding living in Haverhill, I don't see anything that's in writing that says that there's a certain amount of commission members that have to be on that board. So that right there, it's debatable for. Okay. The other piece, when it comes to the role itself, I do see the airport as a very, very important asset to the city, both economically as well as regional connectivity. And that's why I'm looking forward to even learning more about its own enterprise operation. And that's where my strength comes in when it comes to communication. I know Senior Advisor Spanner briefly talked about some of my background, but it's not just on communication. I also serve, I just got reappointed through Kim Driscoll, who appointed me, and I do apologize, this would be my second term for a 2-year term for the home, and let me give you the correct name because it's very long, through the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the Division of Occupational Licensure, and I am a board member, a public board member, for the registration of home inspectors. I know the process. I also have been on every single meeting. I have never missed a meeting. I am a very responsible person. I also do my due diligence. There was even a moment where and I'm trying to remember what it was, but it was the contract as far as the requirements. A lot of home inspectors from New Hampshire want to be a part of or get a license here in Massachusetts, unfortunately, there is one stipulation that does not allow them to just become home inspectors here. I was actually part of that board and read with every legal counsel that was there, over hundreds of pages. That right there opened my eyes. So I feel, and well, not even feel, I know that I will be the right person to be a part of this commission through the obvious skill sets that I mentioned. On top of that, being bilingual. If there's ever any communication that needs to be out there, being in the mayor's office right now, we have been getting a lot of praise because everything that comes through my desk is always in 2 languages. And I just last year and now in February officially got my certification for translation as well as interpretation, which is 2 different things that a lot of people tend to intertwine. There are 2 separate skill sets with that. So aside from being already on the board almost 4 years with the Commonwealth, which is even at a higher level, as well as my my academic experience, as Senior Advisor Spanner mentioned, do have my MBA, plus 2 years of my PhD, which I will not complete because most likely, crossing my fingers, I will be attending law school. And that is, last and not least, I want to say that I do value, of course, collaboration, listening, asking thoughtful questions, and being able to support any decision making. So I hope, Vice Chair, that puts you at ease when it comes to conflict of interest. It wasn't just me taking on, oh, this is a great idea for me to be on board. I've had various discussions with the mayor to try to do my due diligence. And I also spoke with the city council, city attorney, and the only issue was the stipend issue, which is why I presented to them the municipal contract. And that, he said he will get back to me. But as of right now, that is the only thing that I am aware of that was up for question, but it should not be a reason not to be appointed for the commission. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we move forward, I did pull up the financial aspect of the conflict of interest law, and also what would exempt a municipal employee from this law. So there's 2 situations that would be considered an exemption. And the first one is the Section 20B exemption, the 500-hour rule, which is the most common pathway for a full-time municipal employee looking to seek a second part-time position or join a compensated board. To qualify for the compensation, all of the following criteria must be met. Independent agencies. The second board or position must be under a completely independent department. Actually, before I continue to read this, do we have anyone, are any of these gentlemen part of the Airport Commission that are here right now?
In the back?
No? No one? When does the Airport Commission typically conduct their meetings? Does anybody know?
To my understanding, I believe it's once a month they meet, or
Once a month.
depending on if there's nothing on the agenda, they might meet 2 months. So I do apologize not to give you a clear answer to that.
Do we
one.
know the time frame when meetings are scheduled, the times the meetings are scheduled?
Well, the one that I attended in April, which I believe was April 16th, that one was in the evening, 6 o'clock. Yeah, so, yeah, go right ahead. Oh, there you go,
Okay,
yeah.
perfect.
So it is once a month, and it is after hours.
Okay.
6 p.m. You're
Thank you.
welcome.
The employee cannot have official let me start over. Independent
It's okay.
agencies. The second board or position must be under a completely independent department. The employee cannot have official responsibility for or financial management over the second agency in their primary job, and the first agency cannot regulate the second. Public availability. The position or contract must have been publicly advertised or open to public bidding. Off hours. The duties of the board must be performed completely outside the normal working hours of the employee's primary job. No duty overlap. The services provided to the board cannot be part of the employee's regular duties in their first job. Time cap, the employee cannot be compensated for more than 500 hours per year in the second position. And then the disclosure and approval process, the employee must file a full written disclosure of their financial interests with the city or town clerk and the city council, board of aldermen, or select board must vote to approve the exemption, which is the process that we're currently doing right now. The second is the special employee status, which we also spoke a little bit about earlier, Section 20C and Section 20D. The restrictions are specifically more flexible if the board position or primary job is designated as a special municipal employee status. A position can be designated as special by a vote of the city council or select board if it is uncompensated, part-time, or does not exceed 100 working hours in the preceding year. Under Section 20C, a special municipal employee can have a financial interest in addition to the contract or position with a municipal agency by which they are not employed or in whose activities they do not participate or have official responsibility, provided that they file the disclosure with the clerk. Was there an official disclosure filed?
At this time, there is not. I do actually have it with me, and that's when I spoke with the city attorney, who said that he would just look into regarding the stipend, so the financial piece.
Right.
And if I may, Madam Chair, just to add 3 additional things that are actually on the application. If you would like to have a copy, I'd be happy to. I just want to make sure that I'm following the process, because I didn't submit it based upon my conversation with the city attorney.
Understood,
So
but
that's why-
you mentioned that you have it tonight.
I do.
Can you give it to our secretary? Can you make copies, please,
Sure.
Maria? Thank you.
And actually, yes.
And just quickly, just to wrap this part up, Section 20D, if they do have responsibility or work within that same agency, they can still hold the position if they file a disclosure and the municipal legislative body, example, city council, votes to approve the exemption. So that is what our mass
Just one second.
ethics law states.
Sorry, I just wanted to,
Advisor?
yeah, and it's, all of this is a learning curve. Any person that receive or has a job, a position with the city, or a contract with the city, would be scrutinized. I mean, in other words, we need to keep that in mind. So the fact that someone has a contract and say, well, I don't work for the city, yes, you do, because you do have a commitment. I would suggest in the future, or in the near future, that the city should adopt the special municipal employee position, because as you read, that's the same response we received going back and forth with the ethics, the Commission on Ethics.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. We're just gonna wait for those. Do you have the copies? One thing.
Madam Chair, I do apologize.
No, go ahead, Ms. Garcia.
I just wanted to read the 3 points, and again, it's on the contract itself. My municipal agency, meaning the City Hall, it's not the contracting agency to the airport. So that's where I checked that off. My municipal agency does not regulate the activities of the contracting agency. And in my work for my municipal agency, I do not participate in or have official responsibility for any of the activities in the contracting agency. So I just want to, of course, make it very clear that I am I am not officially a lawyer, but I wanted to understand what did they mean by contracting agency and municipal agency. And that's where I explained myself earlier that my responsibilities have nothing to do with the airport itself. So it's really 2 separate entities, and at the end of the day, it's just 2 different jobs.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there any other questions or comments? Councilor
you, Chair.
Miguel.
Yeah, we all know Carmen and, know her, of her background and community involvement in the city. I do share the same concern as my colleague, Ana Levy, Councilor Ana Levy. And it's just not that you don't have necessarily a direct involvement with the airport, but you work for the mayor's office. And the mayor is the direct, is the boss. The airport director is one of, thank you. The airport is one way or the other under the mayor's responsibility. And for some, at some point you have to see, or I see the board as an opportunity for someone to, to serve the community at a different capacity. And, I just don't see myself, if we can fill all the position of the board with city employees, there is no need for a board. It's, what I'm saying. We all, like the work that you do. There is no doubt of your background. It is just a feeling that, we had going through the same situation that we had, that Councilor Ana Levy chaired previously. And, I would like to, now that I have this document, just to take a look at it as well for the municipal employee, the disclosure form. And I'm not sure, were you able to get any confirmation for the State Ethics Commission on this matter, just to double check with them if you as a, mayor staff wouldn't interfere and have any conflict of interest with serving in the board?
Alrighty, well, thank you for that. Oh my God, it's a council. Now I forgot, I know there's chairs, so I'm like, oh, wait.
Yeah.
Committee member. So this financial interest municipal contract, that was when I reached out to SEC. Okay. So they were the ones that were instructing me to fill this out. So there should be no issue there. The second piece, you mentioned feelings, and respectfully, sir, if everything was based on feelings, we would never get anything done. I share the facts. Of course, I'm sure everyone here will do their due diligence because unfortunately we can't base things on feelings. So if you feel that more research needs to be done, as Senior Advisor mentioned earlier, we should have some sort of stabilization of across the board when anyone's going to be, whether on a commission or on a board, because there is a lot of conflicting, even at whether an employee of the city, but even as a resident of the community, not in Lawrence, but in Haverhill. When we're listening to residents, there is a lot of conflicting information. And that really delays a lot of the municipal work that needs to get done. Just to put it a little bit towards the side, as a public relations director, you cannot imagine the amount of nuances that are happening with many different departments, particularly the city council against the mayor and all that other stuff. And unfortunately, it's just that there is, not to blame any one person, it's just that there is no clarity. But then one moment we will have someone going to a board or a commission that is a city employee. I am nothing new to be on a commission. There are many city employees in different capacities, but have never been as scrutinized as it has been, I want to say, since the last term of the mayor's office. So respectfully, we need to have consistency, because if, some of the concerns, like Vice Chair mentioned, yes, I completely understand if you are concerned about if there's a financial interest. Well, I did my due diligence ahead of time, so that way you will have that information. If you're feeling, which unfortunately I cannot, research that, because feelings unfortunately do not matter. What matter is what's in writing, but when there is conflicting information, there's always constant delay, and that is one of the frustrations that a lot of individuals in this community have. So just wanted to share that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Give me just 1 second. One thing I will add to the discussion is one thing that is factual that was, and I understand your position on this matter, Ms. Acting Director Garcia King, is that regardless of we were waiting for the city attorney, this should have been timely filed with the city clerk. It states very clearly under the Massachusetts general law that it still should have been filed. But what I do appreciate is that you came prepared and that we were able to make copies of it. But for the future, regardless if we're waiting for the mayor or the city attorney, let's just make sure that we have the documents included, and that little piece of we're still waiting for additional information can just be articulated as we're doing now.
And I appreciate that, but this would be an excellent example of saying, I follow instructions, and I was told not to.
Well, that's why I'm looking at this.
I should have looking at the advisor. I'm sorry. Oh, no, that's a conversation between you guys. I got nothing.
Well,
No. I just want to clarify.
At that point, I'm calling for.
If at least I was asked, I mean, I know that Carmen is new with the city, but dealing with you for 4 years, or most of you, for at least 2 of you for 4 years, we know that the request has always been to give the supporting documentation earlier. But tonight also, we're looking at, we had time with the attorney, we would have requested the information as well. But that's okay.
Understood.
Love
Things
goes
happen
both
too.
ways.
Councilor Gonzalez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Carmen, you have an exceptional background, and I haven't known you for a long time, but I appreciate that you came in and you were prepared and you did the legwork for us. I am not going to say no, but I do agree with Councilor Levy. Yes, I believe that we should at least have some sort of memo from the city attorney so we can be in the clear.
Fair enough, and just so you know how fairly new I am to the municipality, first and foremost, thank you for the compliments, that it's not always said publicly or out loud, so thank you for that. And secondly, if this is, like I said, something that should be a norm, it needs to be in writing, because there's someone like myself who does go above and beyond to make sure that we have the necessary information so there is no delays, but then they keep adding something else, and it's like, at what point do we stop? And I know many of you from a city council aspect, sometimes I've heard you guys stay here till 12 midnight. I will tell you right now, I will not be a great city councilor because I cannot be here till 12 a.m. So completely understand, and anything you need, we will make sure that it gets done.
Thank you.
Alrighty,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to add, before we go into the second round of questioning and comments, I heard comments about position with this administration and how, inconsistencies, et cetera. And that's one thing throughout my 3 terms, current term, as a city councilor that I've heard with positions that I have taken, that the city council didn't do X, Y, and Z when it was interim Mayor Vasquez or interim Mayor, Mayor Verera. And now I'm only speaking for myself. My position on that is I wasn't a counselor during those times. I'm a counselor now, during this administration. And I think I can speak for my colleague, he's a counselor now, during this administration as well. One thing that I am going to be clear on is since I've started, I've taken a position that I do not support city employees being on boards. I have voted against it in the past, and I will continue to vote against it currently and until my term is up. To give you an example that I've been consistent on this position, I voted against my good friend Mike Armano for the school committee appointment.
I saw that video.
So I'm consistent, and I do. The professionalism that you have brought since joining the mayor's office I do recognize that, and I appreciate that as a city councilor. And you try your best to communicate with us, and I do read your email. So I do recognize that, and I appreciate that as a city council. However, my position on this particular remains. And, but there's still a whole full council, and if this passes, I do look forward to working with you, and I hope that my position doesn't, what's the word I'm looking for? Affect our working relationship if you do become an airport commissioner.
I can assure you on the record, it will not. Same to you, Chair. Thank you very much for the compliments. Like I said, it's not something that comes easy or often, so I do appreciate that. And, you know, I am doing and continue doing my best to lead by example, which is why I was already ready to make it very clear that if this does go through and there is an issue with the stipend piece, as a city employee, I will be declining it and I will not be attesting to it. And at any given point, if there is a subject matter at the commission that would sound or even look like a conflict of interest, as I mentioned earlier, I will recuse myself.
And I believe that you definitely will.
Yes, I will.
And I know that you will. I know that you will.
Yes.
Councilors, what I'm hearing from the body is that we are looking to have that memo from the city attorney. I believe this matter should be retabled until we have that, but it's up to the committee's discretion on how you wish to proceed.
Well, Madam Chair.
Council Vice President.
Thank you. Like I said to you, Carmen, you know, it's nothing again. I know your background, I know your works, I know you for so many, many years. But I don't want to commit maybe the same mistake that I did before. Just trying to, like the chair mentioned, at the time I did the vote, and in reality I tried the next day just to avoid and to change it, and it was practically too late. I don't want to do that again. So I want to hear from the city attorney. I want to make sure that any decision is the right decision, and I'm going to make a motion to table until we got all of the information. It's not trying to delay this, it's trying to get the right answer, the right documents that we really needed, and I know that you're going to be, you know, something that is going to be a grateful part of the airport if we make a decision just to approve that position. So I'm going to make a motion to table.
Second.
Motion has been tabled, properly second. No.
Madam Chair, and it's no discussion, but we want to make sure that we are sending corresponding to the city attorney, and we submitted any paper that we had in here. You can
So
submit
you're
any
adding
paper
that
to the city.
to your motion?
Yes, please.
You-
Pending documentation by the city attorney, and also documentation that has to be submitted to the city clerk.
Thank you. So motion to table and send correspondence. I think Ms. Carmen, Ms. Garcia King knows exactly what she needs to do.
My husband will be like, wait, what did she call you? I'm like, Garcia King,
to the city attorney, and Ms. Garcia King is going to do what she needs to do with the city clerk. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you so much.
Thank you all
Acting
for your
Director.
time. Appreciate it.
All right, at this point, anybody here for personnel? Anything else? Seeing none, at this point, we have no other business. Can I have a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion has been made, properly seconded. I'm not entertaining discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you. City Attorney, can you hear us? Okay. I know he's muted, but he said yes. Good evening and welcome to the Budget and Finance Committee meeting. Today is Wednesday, May 27th, 2026. It is now 7:57 p.m. Voting members, to my left, I have the Vice Chair of this committee, Councilor Vivian Marmo, and to my right, Council President Giovanni Rodriguez. Councilor Mark LaPlante could not join us this evening due to a personal reason. Pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2022, this meeting of the Budget and Finance Committee is being conducted both in person and via remote participation. A reminder that persons who would like to listen or view this meeting while in progress may either attend in person here in the City Council chamber or follow through using our YouTube channel. Councilors, can I have a motion to approve the minutes from our April 27, 2026 meeting? Oh. Allegiance, thank you. I forgot the pledge. It's been in meetings. Can you please join me in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now, councilors, can I have a motion to approve the minutes from our April 27, 2026 meeting?
So move.
Second.
Motion has been made by the council president, seconded by the vice chair. Any discussion on the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Councilors, can I have a motion to table, we're going right into new business, but motion to table item 228-26 proposed fiscal year 2027 municipal budget.
Motion to table.
Motion has been
Second.
made by the vice chair, seconded by the council president. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Next item we have is item 229-26, authorization to expend $1.2 million of an earmark from Congresswoman Lori Trahan for the municipal bridge repair, and it was brought to us by Director McCarthy. Director, you have the floor. Well, name and address for the record, and then.
Good evening, councilors. Daniel McCarthy, Planning Director for the City of Lawrence. I'm here today in regards to a earmark that we received from the federal government through Congresswoman Lori Trahan's office. I did have a conversation with Chairperson Infante earlier. I told her that I really had no documents to submit because we really just get this notice via telephone call that we received this $1.2 million. You typically, when you get a grant or something, you get an award letter or you get a notice to proceed or something of that nature. But under this case, we didn't. So what I did this afternoon was I just gave you some documents. I went down and looked on the Federal Register to find the awards. This is the link we are provided when we get the notice. And as you can see, our award is on page 17 out of 142 pages on the Register, and it's a fairly simple instructions. It's from the Highway Infrastructure Program. It's part of the community project funding for the congressionally directed spending, and it's a large bridge restoration project for $1,200. I wanted to get a little more information about what the grant does. So the second page that you have in front of you is directly from Congresswoman Trahan's page. She has a project page that she lists all the projects that she submitted for different communities, and this was the Lawrence project that was on that page. Now, if you look on this project, you'll see that the requested amount of money was $2.4 million. I had actually worked on this last year when we were submitting the documents, and we were originally asking for $3 million, but Congress gave us $1.2 million. The directions to use the money on an earmark are fairly broad. In this case, the request is to use the money on the Casey Bridge and the Daisy Street Bridge, because those are the two that were the two major bridges that were in crisis. And when we speak a lot about the Casey Bridge, a lot of people confuse it. I think part of this is a bridge called the Henry Mann Bridge, which gets confused. It looks like it's part of the bridge, but every time you cross a body of water, that's a separate bridge. So the Casey Bridge crosses the Merrimack. The Henry Mann Bridge crosses the South Canal. And we've spoken to Representative Trahan's office, and she said, these are clearly, we can use the money on both of those bridges, because that was what the direction was for. We are having an event on Friday that was arranged through Congresswoman Trahan's office to announce the arrival of the earmark. And again, we need, it's a responsibility of the City Council to accept the monies for appropriations so this money can be spent. And that's what I'm here for today.
Thank you, Director. Councilors, any questions or comments? Council President Rodriguez.
Well, thank you, Director, for bringing this up to us. I wanted to express my my happiness when it comes to the Lawrence Priority Bridge Improvement Project and the Congresswoman Lori Trahan. My gratitude is going towards her well-dedicated office, as well as all the work that she put in to be able to get us this $1.2 million. When it comes to this specific area, the Central Bridge or the Casey Bridge, it is one of the most important bridges of the city of Lawrence, if not the most. About 23,500 vehicles as an ADT, average daily traffic, go across that bridge, and the mobility of the city of Lawrence is directly dependent on this specific location area. As you mentioned, yeah, you're right. We have 3 different bridges on that location. One that is for the South Canal, another one for the North Canal, and the main bridge, or the Central Bridge, which is the Casey Bridge that goes across the Merrimack River. We definitely happy, content, and at the same time, definitely looking forward to work with with Lori Trahan, our U.S. representative, with her office when it comes to things that we need in the city of Lawrence, and as well as things that we need in the region. We definitely very happy about this situation and how this is going to possibly impact the city of Lawrence and the need that we have when it comes to mobility around that specific bridge. The railing for that bridge that we're talking about, going across the South Canal, there is buried a lot of repairs that are needed. I'm going to be able to be covered with these funds, and definitely appreciate the fact that we're going to be able to repair those for the people of Lawrence. So thank you to the Lawrence Trahan's office for this.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, I'm going to publicly state what I said to you, Director, earlier about the events. And I understand there's another office involved in planning an event, but I do wish to see the local legislative process finish its process before we make a big event, public event happen. We typically obviously don't turn down our federal help or state help that we get from our state delegation or our federal delegation. However, there is still a local process, and I do wish to see that being respected as well. And that's my advice or my suggestion for the future when planning these events. Councilors, at this point, I will entertain a motion.
Motion to send it to the full council with a federal recommendation.
Motion has been made by the council president, seconded by the vice chair. Any other further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you, Director.
Thank you very much.
We have item 230-26, appropriation transfer in the amount of $30,000 among city department ARPA/free cash allocations. And we have Sue Fink, our OPD Manager of Financial and Administrative Services here tonight. Mrs. Fink, you have the floor.
Good evening, councilors. Sue Fink, 360 Merrimack Street. So I'm here tonight at the request of the mayor to request an appropriation transfer of $30,000 from the Airport ARPA Free Cash Project account to the Public and Neighborhood Safety Project account to support fire and police detail costs at the upcoming Feast of the Three Saints, which will be held on Labor Day weekend. There is currently $36,194 in the ARPA Free Cash for the airport. And as typical, we would do an internal transfer of those costs from our account to the fire department's account and the police department's account. So no funds will ever go to any other organization. There'll be just an internal transfer once those invoices are received. You recently approved a similar transfer for Semana Hispana for those types of requests. And as you see at the back of the room, there are several members from the organization that would be happy to provide any further details that you may need. And we're happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Councilors, any questions or comments? Councilor Marmon.
Ms. Fink, just for clarity purposes, the transfer of decreasing from the airport to increase it for this specific account, and the reason why I'm asking is because the airport director, I believe there's so many projects happening, and there's one specific project where it's pending certain funding. So I'm just curious in terms of like, is the transfer of this specific account, is it because they don't require these funds? There's no need for the airport to use these funds?
So I was here last month for a transfer out of this same account. And when the ARPA Free Cash was initially awarded to the departments, the airport decided they did not want to take the award they were given because it was going to be a loan.
I remember. Thank you for jogging my memory. Thank
You're welcome.
That was it. I was just trying to make sense if
course.
it's because they didn't need it. Okay, so you've answered my question. Thank you for reminding me.
Okay, can you just repeat what the 30,000 is going to public and neighborhood safety, but what specifically within that?
So that's an ARPA Free Cash project that exists right now. It's one of the
Same
department
stuff
free
that I missed.
cash
Okay,
accounts.
we do have the committee here. Is there anybody from the committee that would like to speak or make a comment? And thank you for your patience. We ran a little behind. I appreciate it.
Good evening, councilors. My name is Raymond DiFiore. I was the DPW director for the city for 15 years. I started working in the city in 1974, long before the three of you were even a thought in anyone's eye. But I'm asking for your support on this item. We have paid for police and fire for many, many years, and the cost is just becoming unbearable. We have our treasurer here, and our president is Joe Mariano, feast chairman is Wayne Peters, and our treasurer, Billy Schofield. And they can give you any facts or figures you'd like to know. But all our money that we earn and raise goes to charity. Charity as well as scholarships. Each year we give scholarships to Lawrence High, Methuen High, surrounding communities, and all the money that we collect from the saints on Sunday all goes to charity. We keep none of that ourselves. So it's becoming more and more difficult to pay for the cost, and we're not here to be unhappy about what services the police or fire provide. They do a great job. We have no problem with that. It's just that the cost is becoming too difficult. So if you have any questions, these gentlemen will be more than happy to answer them.
Council President.
Well, once again, welcome to the City Council. I think that at some point we as a city, with the different groups, culture groups and the feast, You guys have been done this for 102 years?
103.
103 years. It's quite amazing. But I think that at some point we need to sit down and talk about, how we can mitigate those costs. Because we don't want those events that are so important to the community to just go away because of a cost involved that is not controlled by the organization. And I believe that potentially a safety study within the last 10, 15 years, how we can analyze that and based on those data make determination that is a little bit less harms for the organization like yours. Because I'm pretty sure that nobody even kissed on that festival. Imagine fighting. So it's like we need to evaluate the facts. How far back was the last interaction between people on your festival? Like I cannot even remember having heard anything forever. I never hear anything. Similar to other organizations, like we put in more officers. Yeah, obviously, we put in more officers, but at the end of the day, we need to actually evaluate the facts because those costs keep on increasing, and at some point, it's going to be, like it happened with other festivals that they disappear, and that's a lot to do with cost, most of the time.
Right.
So we need to come up with some type of strategy, resolutions, and plans to be able to come up with a better idea that reduce costs, that is still safe. Somehow, one way or another, figure this out, because I mean, it is outrageous in the way that the costs are going up.
Just to give you an example, when my late father was a Lawrence police officer, and we lived on Common Street, right next to Tripoli Bakery. And when we had the feast back in those days, there was one police officer that walked that street. My brother is a retired police officer. He was in the 1980s. And back then, it was 4 to 5 police officers. Now we have a tremendous amount of police officers. And again, I'm not here to say that they're not necessary. We want to keep a very safe feast. And they they do a great job. But the costs are just getting too much for us to bear.
Yeah, I agree 100% with you. We need to look at the facts. We need to look at the reality, and we need to value what the true meaning of those festivals to the city. To me, your festival is extremely important.
It's important. It's very important. I've been a member for 52 years, so I'm not going anywhere soon. So I just want to
Thank
make
you.
sure that
That's good to
continues.
hear. Good to hear that. But I just want to bring this up because I mean, at some point we need to start talking about this.
Thank you. Do you want to give a couple of what we give in scholarships?
So Bill Schofield, Treasurer, St. Alfio Society. So yeah, every year, at least since I've been the treasurer, which I think I'm going on year 10, that's about right, we have done anywhere from 5 to 6 $2,000 scholarships to local graduating high school seniors. So that's Lawrence High, Methuen High, I think we had Haverhill High one year, Central Catholic, Notre Dame Academy. So we make it a point to make sure we're giving back to the community, not just in other charitable giving, but we're also recognizing local families as well, and providing scholarships. And I think we've done, just in terms of charitable giving outside of that, we've done well over $100,000 in the last decade or so. I mean, that's a rough number. I can go, I have my laptop, I can give you an exact number if you want, but it's, we feel it's a very important part of the community, and we love to give back to the community. And as Ray said, it's been challenging in recent years because of the increasing expense of the police and fire, because that impacts essentially that sort of bottom line that we use to go put back out in the community. So for us, it's a lot of strategy. We face headwinds in other parts of how we raise money, and we're facing some headwinds and other expenses. But these security items in particular have really increased significantly in the last 5 to 6 years. So.
Councilor Marmo.
I must say that I want to concur with our council president in understanding and preserving the importance of the history and the contributions of your community, your heritage to the city of Lawrence. I'm a consumer of the festival. Last year, I was joined by our Councilman Fonte and myself. We make it a point to visit and consume and enjoy. Like, I enjoy myself. I need to have an Italian sausage regardless and a meatball before I leave. And in doing so, I'm understanding that, you know, you're saying how back then it was only 1 or 4. So what I'm understanding is the challenges of the cost is coming from the details. Do we have an answer in terms of who makes the determination as to how many officers are required? Is it based on the projection of how many folks are gonna come to visit? Which I think it's hard to make these projections. I don't know, I'm not, so I'm curious as to who makes the determination as to how many officers are required.
It's a combination of the police chief and the person that's in charge of all the details. And they meet with us before the festival, months before, and we give them an overview of what we're having this coming year, if there's anything special, or if it's the same as last year, or if there's something new coming up. And then they make a determination, and then they come back to us with their proposal. And we basically,
What
not
was
too
the
much saying.
number, like how many officers were required last festival?
It's gonna be the same amount as last year. So do you have that?
So that's something to look into.
Yeah.
It's a good point because this is unrelated to the festival, but related to police detail. I received a few comments. We had the state senate's committee, was it on small business committee, or I forget what the committee was, but they hosted a meeting here in the city of Lawrence. And they were at the South Lawrence East, and I guess there were many police officers there that really the amount that was there wasn't needed, was the feedback that I received from multiple people. So
That's what's making me question.
So, yeah, so that's something that we definitely need to look into as to how this is determined. I know before, Captain Jay Cirillo was involved in this planning, but I know the police department has made some changes since the new chief stepped in. So I don't know if he's still involved in it or.
We met with the police chief and the fire chief in the mayor's office 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And they explained why that they need this number of officers, because not only do they need the number inside the festival, they also cover the outside
The outside,
perimeters,
yep.
which
Yeah.
is very, very important to them, what people really don't see, that they're protecting the outside so no
I
bad things
understand.
happen before they come in.
Right.
One of the things that the police chief had mentioned was, last year, they got a tip that these kids on these bicycles that were going into Boston and to ruining some of their festivals, last year, they got a tip that they were heading towards our festival. And there was 30 or 40 bikes that were heading toward this way. Well, they got a tip and they headed them off and they stopped them from coming in. So that's one of the things that he told us. It's not so much what goes on inside, which we've never had a problem inside, excuse me, as far as I've been a member for 39 years. But it's the outside things that we don't see, that they're watching the cars and things that go on outside the perimeters also.
But do you guys have any records of any incidents?
You know what? We have not had an incident
Okay,
as long as I can remember.
okay.
But just remember that at one time, we had auxiliary police, but that has been eliminated. The police chief now is meeting with other police chiefs in the area to see if the possibility of bringing them back. To give you an example, when we take the saints out of the church and we process through the streets, money is put on the saints. anywhere at the end between $11,000 and $13,000. So that money is out. You need someone to protect the outside perimeter of it. And generally, that was done by the auxiliary police. We don't have them anymore. So now they've got to supplement that with regular police. That's some of the issues.
No, I get it.
Billy.
And I could just see, you know, I'm assuming your organization every year, you want it to be bigger and better and, you know, for more folks to participate and take space during these festivities. And the more folks that come in, the more likely we're going to require police presence.
And the more things that we add, if we add something new and bigger, obviously the rates, the cost is going to go up. Can I just mention one thing that Council President had said? I've been coming here and meeting with the past mayors, the past 6 mayors over the years. And one of the things that I've always mentioned to the mayor was, I wish not only for our organization, for the other organizations in the city, that somehow, some way, that it could be incorporated into the city budget that we can all benefit from, so we all don't have to struggle every year, because what we do is for the city, is a benefit for the city also. It brings people into the city. Just our event alone, it brings 50,000 people into the city on the course of 3 days, and it gives the city a star. So I'm always hoping that could be done, and it never happens. So here we are again, coming to ask for some help.
Well, I don't oppose. I'm a consumer. I'm appreciative of each one of your presence here. I would love to continue to foster and build a relationship with you guys. I think it's important, considering that we have to look at the bigger picture, and you guys are not going anywhere. I'm hoping none of us are going anywhere anytime soon. So I think there's a major importance in trying to foster that relationship with you guys, and for you guys to understand that we want to work with you. We want to see you guys flourish and having these festivities to continue for the next, you know, I don't know how many years, forever, if possible. And hopefully you'll be able to pass the baton to someone else and have it, you know, it's history, and I'm a big believer in preserving history and celebrating it at the same time.
You know, we have one other thing, in the church, the Franciscan fathers have taken over Holy Rosary Shrine, and they bring in thousands of people, young families, and it's growing bigger and bigger. The masses are bigger than they were before. So we got a lot of people that we want to take care of. And unless we have help, we can't do that.
I'm all set, Madam Chair.
Okay.
I'm making a motion.
Hold on. So, I wouldn't be a counselor if I didn't play a little devil's advocate, right? As you heard from Council Marmol, I also go to your festivals every year. I love your festivals, but we need to cover all the bases, right? Make sure that these discussions are happening. Has the society spoke about, I'm assuming you guys are the executive board spoken within each other, what would a plan be, or, you know, potential plan, say if the city one day doesn't have the extra free cash or ARPA, well, we won't have ARPA funds, but free cash available to help this organization or any other organization at that matter. Now I'm looking at ASU, but have there been these discussions happening?
Yes, again, my name is Joseph Mariano, longtime resident of Ridgewood Circle. We've had internal discussions about that possibility, and I think if it came to that, you would see shrinkage of the footprint of the feast, where it would just be inside the parking lot of Holy Rosary Shrine in our building, where we wouldn't need as many detail officers or firefighters for the event, and that would, you know, unfortunately, you wouldn't have the vendors lining the street, you know, and everything that goes in with that as far as permits for blocking Common Street and Union Street and stuff like that. So it would just be a general shrinkage of the footprint and a much smaller event, unfortunately. So.
Understood. Has this society have you ever hosted fundraisers or up to that?
We have fundraisers constantly. We just had a $100 ticket fundraiser that we net approximately what, Billy? 17,000. So for every dollar we raise, whether it's our tickets during the feast, the money that we get, we do have a policy that whatever we get off the saints, we give directly to charity.
Right.
So whatever fundraisers we do have, and we have a lot, keep in mind that if we've got to pay police and fire, there's that much less that we give to charity, that we give to scholarships, that we give to, we feed people during Thanksgiving, during Christmas, the homeless. We do a lot of outside reaching to people that need help. For every dollar we got to pay for police or fire or any of the city services, that's $1 less we are able to pay for charitable work.
Thank you. I do agree that some type of long-term plan, we need to look into that, because I don't foresee a shrinkage. Our community is growing at a rapid rate, not just the city of Lawrence, but surrounding communities that also come into Lawrence for this feast and other community events that we have. So I see this becoming a bigger issue, not just for you guys, but for organizations across the board. And that's something that we need to, and I'm sure, Sue, there's been some discussion already, but I think we're aware of that, and hopefully we can figure something out so that we can continue to see cultural events, because they are important to our community, as my colleagues have mentioned in the past. Lastly, councilors, I do want to add, Senior Advisor Spannon was here. He had to leave. He did approach me after the Personnel Committee meeting to state that the mayor is in favor of this, and he wanted to make sure that the committee members knew that, because he had to leave, and that we would have Ms. Fink here with us if we had any other questions. And that is all I have. Any other questions or comments?
I'll make a motion.
Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to send it to the full council with a favorable recommendation.
Second.
Motion has been made by the council president, seconded by the vice chair. Any further discussion? Any further discussion? No. Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the ayes have it. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
gentlemen. Thank you so much,
Tuesday.
Sue. We will see you next Tuesday for the final vote.
I see you. Yes. I'm gonna find you. No, thank you. Thank you guys for your service.
How's your mom doing?
She's up with the
Okay.
More process,
Yeah, yeah.
It's been nice to meet you.
Pleasure meeting you guys. Thank you for
And
joining us.
Anthony?
Nice to meet you. Thank you so much for your
Yeah.
We just got back from Indianapolis. We went out for the race
Yeah.
this past weekend, and it was in high school now, Drummond.
You know what might be cool?
Last time I was at Pat's house,
Caricature, like someone.
she showed me some of the.
Oh, okay. I know last year I didn't think I saw them. Like famous names, I'm not sure. Okay. So I know in the mall I've seen like people that do, and I think.
Last year was tough because our fees at St. Angela's was the same weekend.
Oh, the one in Boston.
Yeah, so every 8 years. So one of those from like 3 minutes had the same. So a lot of our vendors that we usually have for country, they're down there. So last year was a little challenging.
Competing.
Yeah. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen.
And it happens with vendors too.
I know, that's
I mean, people coming last year, we didn't feel it as much. There was
It was
definitely.
just, yeah, when I came into this little,
Fewer vendors on
I'm here trying to think of ways of.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, we had to keep.
You said like there's the parking sucks down there.
Thank you.
I know who's in charge of the vendors, so I'll definitely.
Ah, okay, great.
Thank you, have a great night. We have also City Attorney Hooten online. Attorney Hooten,
Give us a minute.
I'm assuming you are here for item 181-26? Attorney, you're muted.
Are you able to unmute him yourself? No?
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, okay, no.
We go-
No.
No, we can't hear you.
Do you think it's IT?
Oh, sorry, it might be us. Just give us a second.
Does Bill know how to do that?
The Zoom stuff, yeah.
He is.
He's unmuted. Can you talk? Can you hear us?
He can
He
hear,
can hear us, but we can't hear him. Can you, Tim, can you try saying something?
Testing, 1, 2, 3,
There we
testing.
go. Finally, we got you. So I'm
Okay.
assuming, Attorney Nguyen, you're here for item 181-26?
Transfer from litigation reserve?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, councilors, can I have a motion to untable item 181-26, transfer from litigation reserve in the amount of 1 million and free cash in the amount of 1 million to legal services account in the amount of 450,000, and also for the court judgment account in the amount of $1,550,000.
So move.
Motion has been made by the council president. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilor Marmo. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. And you do have this in your packet under old business. We do have the Attorney Nguyen, you have the floor.
Yes, as you know, we've had just recently a rash of new cases. Our litigation expenses have gone up. In reviewing it, consistent with prior years, I would need transfer $450,000 to legal service. I'm not saying I need to use that, but I need to have that available for payment. In addition, after years of me coming before you and informing you about the Wage Act case, the Wage Act case has been settled, and I would need a transfer for the amount of 1.550 for that case. So as you have aptly stated, the transfers would come $1 million from the litigation reserve, $1 million from free cash. They would be transferred to legal services in the amount of $450,000 and to court judgments in the amount of $1.550 million.
Thank you. Councilors, are there any, Councilor Marmo?
Attorney, I know you just mentioned right now that one of the transfers is going to the Wage Act case. What is the
Yes.
other transfer for? If you're
The other
able-
transfer is to pay, so because I am alone in the office, we have to hire outside counsel for a lot of the other cases. And so we have to pay those attorneys. So that money would be to the year's end, which is July, which would allow me to pay for any of the bills for outside counsel. So instead of coming weekly or monthly and saying, I need 20,000, I need 30,000, this would allow it to go into the funds so that through the proper channels, these bills could be paid.
Do you have a year-to-date as to the expenses, the expenses incurred due to legal services or litigation, so to speak?
I can give you that number. I'm guessing it's about $458,000. But I will supply you with an exact number. I don't have that. Obviously, I thank you for taking this on Zoom, as I had a family matter and could not be there in person tonight.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna limit my questions because some of these questions I'm not sure if we'll have to discuss it either in executive session or privately.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, what I will add, Maria, for the full council, can we add an anticipated executive session in case we may need it? Yep.
We'll need it.
Hmm?
We'll need it.
Okay, so we will need it apparently, so, okay. Perfect. I don't have any questions or comments, so if there are none, I will entertain a motion.
Motion to send it to the full council with a fair recommendation with an anticipation of an update of these matters.
Motion has been made as a favorable recommendation, but there's an with an anticipation of an update with actual numbers or the report that we just discussed that the attorney will provide us.
Second.
Probably seconded by the vice chair. Any further discussion? Did I get that right? Is there anything else? Did I get that right? The question? And you have the question, right? What?
I do.
Okay, perfect. All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 The ayes have it. Thank you, attorney.
Thank you
We'll
very
see
much,
next
councilors.
week.
Nothing more on this one?
Hmm?
Nothing on this one?
No. I don't have anything on that one.
On this one?
So,
Which
all
one
right.
is that one?
187-26. All right, councilors, can I have a, oh, yes. Councilors, can I have a motion to untable item 187-26, request investigation of unclaimed properties entitled City of Lawrence as listed on missingmoney.com?
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made by the council president, seconded by the vice chair. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. Councilors, when we received this item, we didn't have anything attached to it, and the reason why we tabled it last meeting, well, we did have the communication from Mr. Collins, but there was no other additional information, and we did not have a representative for this at last meeting. So can I have a motion to send correspondence to Councilor Franklin Miguel and William Collins, and also I would add the city attorney as well for an official memo pertaining to these unclaimed properties titled City of Lawrence.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion has been made by the council president, seconded by the vice chair. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Now, can I have a motion to retable item 187-26?
Second.
Motion has been made by the council president, seconded by council Marmo. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. Councilors, can I have a? What was that? Oh, yeah, we're done with that. Can I have a motion to untable item 133-26, year-to-date budget review inspectional services department?
So moved.
Motion
Second.
has been made, properly seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. Now, can I have a motion to withdraw item 133-26?
Second.
Motion has been made, properly seconded. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. Actually, and also, can I have a motion to untable item 164-25?
So moved. Second.
Motion has been made, properly seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. Can I have a motion to withdraw item 164-25, fiscal year 2026 municipal budget?
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made, properly seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. Can I also have a motion to untable item 44-25, opioid settlement funds update, Modelo
So moved.
application development?
So moved.
Motion has been made, properly seconded.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. Can I have a motion to withdraw item four?
Send the correspondence, because we don't know what is the update. They haven't.
Oh, they have,
They
oh.
haven't finished, and then now they finish, so what's the product?
So can I have a motion to send correspondence to get a update on the Modelo application development and the
Correspondence to Matias?
the financial aspect of it? I would assume this will go to the acting director of community development, Acting Director Santiago Matias. So can I have a motion to send corresponding?
So move.
Second.
Motion has been made, properly seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. The ayes have it. Can I also have a motion to untable item 117-25, review, actually, we're gonna wait. Can I have can I have a motion to retable item
moved.
44-25?
Second.
Motion has been made, properly seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. Can I have a motion to untable item 157-26, year-to-date budget review, Department of Public Works? I need to give you that.
So move.
Motion has been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Properly seconded. Now can I have a motion to withdraw item 157-26, year-to-date budget review, Department of Public
So
Works?
move.
So second.
Motion has been made, properly seconded. Any discussion on that? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. So much of annual audit report. Can I have a motion to, we discussed it. Can I have a motion to untable item 169-25, submission of the annual audit report to the city council?
So move.
Second.
Motion has been made, properly seconded. Discussion. I believe we've already this was already presented to us at the full council as well, right? From my
Yeah, but
memory
we
of last
always
year,
leave it like- Yeah, okay, we can withdraw it.
because that's the FY '24.
Yeah.
All right, motion to withdraw item 169-25.
So move.
Second. Motion has been made, properly seconded. We have some items here that we need updates on. I'm gonna leave this here for now, because there's some things that I need to reach out for. So I'm gonna leave those as is for now, and then next meeting, we'll either withdraw or make motions to send correspondence officially. So at this point, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
So move.
Motion
Second.
has been made, properly seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you so much, councilors.
Speaking of withdrawals,
Aquí.
your thing, Gio.